Who is the strongest character? A question that comes up in every fandom, and Warrior Cats is no different. There are a number of characters introduced that either have wacky powers or are just big muscle cats. And for this video, I want to list the best of the best. Before I get started, I did take a vote from you all, 1,080 votes, on what your top 10 would be, and I will be using 9 of your top 10 for my list. In a different order, of course. And if you're wondering why not all 10, because you guys picked Soul for number 9, and I mean, come on. That dude's strongest move is throwing a temper tantrum. So my list will be based on both brute strength and ability to influence the Warrior Cats universe. Let's begin. Number 10, Darktail. He's just a big, muscular fighting powerhouse. He can mow down cats like Sharpclaw or Rain. He's so good at taking cats that he can simply drag them in the lake and drown them, like he did to Dawnpelt or other Shadow Clan cats who opposed him. And he was technically never even defeated in a proper battle. In a very boring turn of events, he and One Star just fought each other in the lake and never resurfaced. So at the very worst, it was a draw. And One Star is no joke, so I wouldn't call Darktail weak for that. Number 9, the Rat Leader. Yeah, it's not just cats on this list. It's top 10 Warrior Cats characters. And the Rat Leader from SkyClan's Destiny can control entire swarms of rats like they are his arms and legs. Now you might say it's cheap to count that because under that logic, every leader's clanmate should be counted. But the important thing to note here is that these rats are not separate characters. They are mindless drones, an extension of the Rat Leader's self. And this is ridiculously powerful, considering how many of them there are. Normally swarms of rats are just what they are, but a swarm of rats with a brain is an extreme force. His only weakness is cats being smart enough to discover him as the source of the rat swarm's intelligence and target the source as Firestar did. Number 8, Tigerstar. This cat needs no introduction. The main villain of the first arc could kill Redtail so fast that ThunderClan believed his death was part of the battle. He inspires so much fear that completely unrelated ShadowClan baddies come to respect him and work under him despite having no prior relations. He was trained by Mapleshade, the Dark Forest leader, before he came around. And yeah, he became one of the driving forces of the Dark Forest in Arc 4. And when he finally fought Firestar, he didn't exactly lose. They both died, so it's a similar situation to Darktail. The main thing keeping him from being higher on this list is number 7, Scourge. He killed Tigerstar 9 times with a single blow. That in itself gets him a large amount of points. But also, he decorates himself with the teeth of cats and dogs. And his claws are reinforced with dog teeth. The fact that he is fighting dogs and he is upgrading his own body, this guy is crazy! His only drawbacks are that he doesn't have 9 lives or an evil spirit form, and well, he's small. Number 6, Sharptooth. There's a good chance you realized this was coming when I said non-cat characters were included. Sharptooth is a literal mountain lion. What else do I have to say? He may or may not have the brains, but as the largest predator mammal in the series, he's certainly got the brawn. Number 5, Squirrel Flight. This cat was the one that you didn't include in your top 10, but I am including her in mine. What you all didn't realize is the pure resilience of Squirrel Flight. She got ripped open in the Battle of Eclipse, kept on going like nothing was wrong. She survived. She got crushed by rocks in her Super Edition, came back from the dead. She lets Mothwing beat her up to fool Ashfur in the Broken Code. It's like she can't even feel pain. And she survived all the way from the Great Journey to the current books. You could call it plot armor, but whatever you call it, she has survived, and will survive for much longer. And she's done it all without even receiving the gift of 9 lives. That's pretty cool. Number 4, Mapleshade. In her life, she was able to murder 3 cats within days of each other with little difficulty. In her death, she was able to build an army of cats to fight for her in the Dark Forest. The fact that she came out on top out of all the evil spirits in Warrior Cat's history, and she still survives as a spirit into the current books? It's impressive. Despite having a rather short life, her spirit form is one of the strongest around. Number 3. Lion Blaze. For the purpose of this list, we are considering the Lion Blaze before he lost his powers. And yeah, the ability to win every battle he tries without injury is completely unrivaled. He can beat Tigerstar in battle, he can take on foxes, he can literally coat himself in the blood of his enemies. He's just completely unstoppable. The only thing stopping him is the fact that he lost his power after Omen of the Stars. But he had a good run. Number 2. Firestar. As powerful as Lion Blaze was, it cannot be understated how powerful the main character Firestar is. Now I know I just made a video where I talked about his 9 lives and how easy he was to kill for a period of time, but avoiding death is not where his source of power comes from. His source of power is prophecy. He is powerful enough to guarantee that light triumphs over the darkness on 2 occasions, Blood Clan and the Dark Forest. First as the fire alone can save our clan prophecy, and second as the 4th cat prophecy. Rock saw Firestar's entire life play out on the first sunrise of the lake. To have all that certainty to face 2 of the biggest threats in clan history, it's pretty darn powerful. Oh, and side note, if you're wondering why Rock didn't make the list for being immortal, let me show you this quote. He is cursed with being powerless to change anything. Sounds pretty weak to me. Living forever doesn't mean much if you're just in spectator mode. Now the real number 1, he's no spectator. Number 1 is Ashfur. Ashfur had no place on this list prior to the broken code, but now he's the strongest. Despite evil spirits being around forever, he somehow managed to discover multiple powers that no cats before him could use. Powers that we still don't understand how he got access to. Blocking off StarClan, taking over the body of a leader, controlling spirits into his own army. His actions were so major that he was quite literally in the process of destroying the Dark Forest and StarClan, removing both worlds and all the cats in them from existence. Just wow. And the only force strong enough to stop him was the very rift in the spirit world he opened himself. I mean, it's possible that there are StarClan cats out there with similar levels of power, but we've never seen such power demonstrated. So until then, I consider Ashfur to have been the strongest cat in all of Warriors. Oh, and if you're wondering how my top 10 stacked up against yours, have a look. In my opinion, you all completely overrated Scourge and underrated Ashfur and Firestar, but we're mostly similar on everyone else. Except for me replacing Soul with Squirrel Flight, as I mentioned earlier. Feel free to continue disagreeing with me in the comments below. After all, this debate is very trivial and meant purely for entertainment. Alright, bye everyone!